Moving on, look, I don't want anybody to fight, okay? But there's been two fights so far, and we're about to add a third one to it. Certainly didn't have on my bingo card Sheena Shea versus Teddy Mellencamp. That almost makes me so happy to say it. Also, I think nothing all year has made me happier than Kristen Doty versus Gigi from Shaw's. It just warms my heart. We talked about that. But we got a new one. We got a new one like it's 2009, people. Didn't have this on my bingo card. It is the third official feud that I did not see coming. And I am just so here for the one, the only, not really, Nene Leakes versus the one, the only, also sometimes, yeah, sometimes not really. Lisa Vanderpump. Did you guys see this? And Nene and Lisa Vanderwall. Vanderwoodson. I find Vanderwoodson way more interesting than Vanderpump. Did anyone watch Gossip Girl? So anyway, didn't have this. This is the third feud I didn't see coming. Anyway, Miss Leaks. I've heard things throughout the years about Nene and LVP, but I never, and it was from somebody who was on the Bravo TV around that time. And I feel like I heard this, but I never focused. I never really understood it. And I certainly didn't hear it with all these details. Well, Nene is basically slamming, blasting Lisa Vanderpump, accusing her of stealing from her and manipulation. Now, let's not forget. Nene says there's something Lisa Vanderpump did to me that I've never really addressed. I know a lot of people look at her like she's a certain way. I'm like, she did some real foul shit to me. Well, during this interview, the host then said to Nene, maybe the rumors are true that she kind of manipulates people. She does, Miss Leaks said. So in LA, now let me just explain to you guys, everyone who hasn't been to LA. By the way, slip into my DMs. I am available. They're filling up. We are now offering a new service here behind the Velvet Rope, a private Zoom with me, 30 minutes or 1 hour. The Hamptons, Los Angeles, New York City. I'm now apparently a travel guide, and I love this part of my job. Slip in. We will do a 30-minute or 1 hour. I will tell you everywhere to go on your vacation to LA, the Hamptons, or New York. We will tailor the vacation to you, and I will recommend everything Broadway, restaurants, where to stay. So in West Hollywood, for those that haven't been there, you start at I'm giving you free information now. We do more of this when we're on the Zoom and you pay. But you start at Chiconi's, you basically walk across the street. There is Sir. A few doors down from Sir is the Abbey. If you turn the corner, there was Pump, maybe to be a Pump in the future. Right when you turn the corner from the Abbey, after Pump is Tom Tom, and down the street is where Brittany's new bar was going to go, which is not happening. So the location of Pump was between Tom Tom and the Abbey. I don't give a shit about Tom Tom. The bottom line is it was on the corner. Corner real estate is really expensive, especially in WeHo, and it's right next to the Abbey. And the Abbey is as gay as it gets, and it spills over, and they can't fit everyone. So everything in that area does kind of well. So just to give you an idea of where Pump was, it was basically between Tom Tom and the Abbey. So she kind of manipulates people. Nene says she does. So in LA, this is Nene talking. She has a place called Pump on Santa Monica Boulevard, that bar. So at the time, Greg and I were living up in Doheny Estates. We had our house up there. I was working on, Glee and the New Normal. We remember Nene. Also a little sad how that's all gone for now. And I would ride down to that West Hollywood area where I kept thinking it would be so cool if I had a bar right in here somewhere. And that space was empty and kind of raggedy looking and torn down. And the Abbey is right there. Yes, Nene, that's what I just said. Nene continued, I just said the Abbey was right there. And I said, this is a cool spot because I could get some of the business from the Abbey. Yes, Nene, I agree. I don't want to open no bar. It's a hard business, but sure. Good luck to Carl. Jax's didn't work out. Schwartz and Sandy's didn't work out. I said, who could I call and ask, is this a good area? Because I'm not quite so sure. So, housewife to housewife, she calls Lisa Vanderpump. Nene said she asked Lisa about the area. She responded, "Oh, darling, darling, it's a piece of crap. And they're charging so much for it, darling." And I was like, "Oh, I love it. I think it's a great space." And I knew to call you because I know you have a restaurant. She talked me out of it and went and got it herself. That's so fucked up, Nene said. The next thing I know, she opened Pump there. I was like, is this bitch serious? And so now, so basically, Nene saw the space, said, isn't this a gold mine? It's run down. If I just fix it up, it's next to the Abbey. If we get even a quarter of the traffic from the Abbey, it'll be a success. Not really pumping out of business, but I see where you're going with this, Nene. Called Lisa Vanderpump. Vanderpump tells her it's too much, it's crap. And then she goes and gets it for herself. That does sound fucked up. That's so fucked up. The next thing I know, she opened Pump right there. I'm like, is this bitch serious? And now, when she sees me, she has her little dog that doesn't even crawl. And she's like, hi, Nene. Nene says, Lisa, never apologize. And Nene says, she just looks at me funny, like she knows that I know. And then she goes on to call her Vanderlump. So you know how it is. It's like when it's one of those like hi, where like you're looking at the person like, I know I screwed you over, but we're not going to talk about that because it's like 10 years later or 5 years later. But I know that you know. So as I pretend to be so innocent, I know that you know. It's not in Lisa's defense, and it doesn't sound like there's much defense to this. Couldn't it just be that it was a shitload of money and then the market started changing and then COVID and like Lisa has connections in West Hollywood where she's basically the mayor and she just, talked them down and got a great deal for herself. Yeah, she could have got a great deal for Nene, even taking a percentage, but I see Nene's point without overthinking. I just think there's more to meets every story than meets the eye. But looking at Nene's point, so Nene versus LVP, and I doubt LVP is going to respond to this like she responds to Sheena and treats her like someone on her payroll. But this story really just warmed my cold little black heart. By the way, can I just tell you, yes, The Valley season 3 is filming. We could get into that on a whole nother show because I have a lot to say about that. But I love that Brittany Cartwright just doesn't care. She got so much flack from this guy, and the girl is coming forward and saying, I know who he is because he's my husband. Brittany don't care. She went on vacation with him. She's just living her best life. Good for you, Brittany Cartwright. I wouldn't care either, girlfriend. What else? Bose.